welcome to day one of There's No Christmas Without the Cross online study. First of all, I am humbled and honored that one, you bought the book, and two, that you want to be a part of a community that's going to study that book together. I think it's going to be a fun journey, and I am so looking forward to doing this with you. Now, this is going to be super simple. Whatever time of the day you do your study, you can do your reading and then go on Facebook into the Facebook group and just put your thoughts down. You can look at what other people have put down and answer that. And so you have a community, but we don't all have to do it at the same time. We can do it when it's convenient for us. And that is the beauty of studying like this. I've done many studies like this, and it's the perfect way to do it when you can't be together at a specific time. So I hope that it blesses you and is something that you find fulfilling and that adds to your Christmas season. Now, you might be wondering why we're going to spend 31 days rather than the 24 or 25 that most Advent books have. And the reason is we are going to take this time that we're spending with Jesus, and we're going to take that into the new year. And this goes through New Year's Eve, so that hopefully on New Year's Day, we will just be ready to go to him, continue in his word, whatever that looks like for us. So let's get started. Today's reading was called Fall into Flawless. And we talked at the beginning, I talked a little bit about my dad's, when he was looking into his genealogy, and he found out my dad's father has a lot of German heritage, and they found out that one of his great uncles was, I believe it was Auschwitz, that he was a guard at one of the concentration camps, but I think it was Auschwitz. And my father was devastated by that information. I didn't really understand that because it's not who my dad is. It wasn't who my grandparents were or any of his siblings. It's not who our family is. But it just affected him greatly. And it got me to wondering, are we the sum of our ancestors? When we have that older brother who is the class clown and always cutting up, and the teachers don't take him seriously, and then we're the next ones to come up, and the teachers think we're going to be like him, and we have to overcome that. Is that on us? When we're the great athlete and get the A's and class valedictorian or up there anyway in the top 10, and the teachers love us, and we have that person might have that personality that gets on well with the teachers and the other kids, and that's not who I am. And I get up there and the expectation is I'm going to be just like my big brother and my big sister. Is that on us? Here's what we're going to learn today. Our ancestors, our siblings are not innately who we are. And even the mistakes that we've made, God can rise above that. He is still going to use you the way he intended to use you, just like he did Judah. And so I am going to read, our verse today was Genesis 49:10. I'm going to read 8 and 9 and 10. And where this comes from, this is when Jacob, his father, is dying. Jacob was the father of what became the 12 tribes, Judah, Simeon, Joseph, all of the brothers, and even Joseph was Ephraim and Manasseh. His grandkids are considered in this as well. But he's prophesying on his deathbed what is going to happen with each of these brothers' kin, which become tribes of Israel. And Judah is one of those tribes. One of the biggest and one of the most important. And it comes from this man that we'll talk about in a minute. But this is what Jacob prophesies. Judah, your brothers will praise you. Your hand will be on the neck of your enemies. Your father's sons will bow down to you. You are a lion's cub, O Judah. You return from the prey, my son. Like a lion, he crouches and lies down. Like a lioness, who dares to rouse him? The scepter will not depart from Judah, nor the ruler's staff from between his feet, until he comes to whom it belongs, and the obedience of the nation is his. The scepter will not depart from Judah until it goes to Jesus. Judah is the beginning, sort of the line of Jesus, of his lineage. And Judah just wasn't a great guy at one time. Now that changed, but he was one of the brothers who took Joseph, when Joseph came to them, wasn't very good. Now I will give him credit. He's the one that said, well, let's not kill him. Let's just sell him to be a slave. So, not dead, which couldn't happen because of what Joseph was going to do to save many nations from an upcoming famine. But he did that. So he wasn't a great big brother. But then there's also the story of Tamar. And this is one of those stories where Judah did what he shouldn't have done, but he broke a promise. So Tamar is Judah's daughter-in-law. She was married to his oldest son, who was not a good guy. And he was evil, and God decided he wasn't going to be able to continue on because he was that evil. And so his next son, I believe, was named Onan, yeah. And Onan wasn't interested in marrying Tamar. And Israel at this time had a custom that when the oldest son died, if there was no heir, then the next son would marry that widow to carry on the family name. Onan wasn't interested in that at all, as a matter of fact. So that didn't work out as well. And so when he died, she went to Judah, and Judah said, well, I have another son. When he grows up, he will be your husband. Whether he forgot or his son talked him out of it, or whatever happened, he did not fulfill that promise. So Tamar took things into her own hands. And when Judah was out of town, she was there, and unbeknownst to him, he thought he was hiring a prostitute. It was her. She didn't show her face, and she got pregnant. So there's a whole bunch to that story. You can read about it in Genesis 38. But we can look at all the things that are wrong with that on Judah's side. He made a promise. He didn't keep it, and he slept with the prostitute. We can look at Tamar, who that probably wasn't the best way to handle it, but their son Perez kept the line going towards Judah. So what was flawed and just mistake after mistake, God used to bring us Jesus. So it wasn't a bad thing. And here's what you can learn from that. It doesn't matter what you've done. It doesn't matter what mistakes you've made in the past. It doesn't matter. God has a plan for you, and you can't mess that plan up. You are not capable of messing that plan up. Judah didn't keep his promise. Tamar went about it in a way that probably wasn't the best, but God used all of that for the good of all of us, so that we could have Jesus, so that he could come, leave his throne in heaven, come to a broken world on a cold night in a stinky stable in such a humble way, so he could understand us, so he could relate to us, so he could save us. You do not have the capacity to mess up God's plan for you. It's going to happen. So if you've messed up, go ahead, take it to God, talk to him about it, repent, and move on to the things that he wants you to do. So as we end today, it's in Luke chapter 3, verses 33 and 34, where we see more of the lineage of Jesus, the son of Amminadab, the son of Ram, the son of Hezron, the son of Perez, who was the son of Judah, the son of Jacob, the son of Isaac, the son of Abraham, the son of Terah, the son of Nahor. That's where it came from. That's the beginning of the lineage of Jesus, or part of the beginning anyway. It goes all the way back to Adam, of course. So rest in this today, my friends. Whatever you've done, whatever mistakes you've made, God still has the capacity to use you the way he needs to use you. So just talk to him and let him tell you and show you how that's going to look. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about Almost Holy. Thanks for going on this journey with me.